liquefaction of gases. So the question is it possible to change gases into liquid? Answer is yes. It is possible to change gases into liquid by applying high pressure and by decreasing the temperature to their critical temperature. So to understand the liquefaction of the gases, let's first discuss the basic difference between the gases and the liquid nature. As you can see here, we have two diagrams. One is that of the liquid and the second diagram is of gases. According to the kinetic molecular theory of gases, we know that the gas molecules are very small and far apart from each other, which result in no attractive forces in the gas molecules, whereas liquid molecules are comparatively closer as compared to the gas molecules with the attractive forces between them. So what is liquefaction of gases? Means the change of gases into the liquid state. There are two necessary conditions for the change of gases into the liquid state. First is low temperature and the second is high pressure. As we know that the gas molecules are very small and they are far apart from each other with no attractive forces. So by applying the pressure with low temperature, the gas molecules come closer and closely crowded due to the decrease in the kinetic energy of the molecules. As we know that the temperature is directly proportional to the kinetic energy of the molecules, so with the decrease in the temperature, the kinetic energy of the molecules decreases, they start attracting each other and thus change into the liquid state. Remember that the gases can be liquefied at their critical temperature and the critical pressure. So what is critical temperature? The maximum or the highest temperature above which a highly compressed gas cannot be liquefied is called the critical temperature. Above the critical temperature, a gas can never be liquefied. Even a larger pressure is applied. Because above the critical temperature, the average kinetic energy of the gas molecules is so high that the attractive forces can't hold them together into a liquid state. Second is the critical pressure. The pressure required to liquefy a gas at its critical temperature is called a critical pressure. Different gases have different critical pressures which depend upon their nature. The third is the critical volume. So, the volume of 1 mole of a gas at its critical temperature and critical pressure is called critical volume. Remember that different gases have different critical volumes depends upon their nature. Principle used for the liquefaction of the gases is Joule-Thomson effect. It states that when a highly compressed gas is suddenly allowed to expand, it causes cooling. Do you know that the machineries today, like the AC refrigerators, use the compressors in order to get more drop in temperature by applying the Joule-Thomson effect? So let's discuss the mechanism of the Joule-Thomson effect. As you can see here in a diagram that the gas molecules are passed from a high pressure region to the low pressure region through a porous material. So at a high pressure the gas molecules are compressed here. Due to the decrease in the kinetic energy of the molecules, they come closer and attract each other. When the gas molecules are allowed to pass through this porous material or through a small nozzle towards the low pressure region, what happened? They expand and move far apart from each other with the increase in the kinetic energy of the molecules. So, during the free expansion, the compressed gas molecules use their own energy to overcome the attractive forces and become separated. When the energy of the gas molecules decreases, the gas molecules become cooled. After several cycles of the compression and the free expansion of the gas, change into the liquid state. Most methods of the liquefaction of the gases based on the Joule-Thomson effect. Some important methods for the liquefaction of the gases are: number 1, Faraday's method. In this method, the cooling is produced by using a freezing mixture of the ice and the various salt. The gases like the sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide and the chlorine etc. can be liquefied by this method under their own pressure. The second important method for the liquefaction of the gases is Lind's method. In this method, cooling is produced by free and sudden expansion of the compressed gas into a low pressure region through a small nozzle repeatedly. Thus, ultimately, they get liquefied. As you can see here in a diagram that the fresh air enters to the compressor where the gas is highly compressed at 200 atmosphere. Then pass through the refrigerating liquid, the gas follows the pipes and comes out through a small nozzle to the expansion chamber, as you can see here, where the pressure of the expansion chamber is very low, that is 1 atmosphere, and the gas get cooled. By repeating this process several times, the gas changes into the liquid state. Third method for the liquefaction of the gases is the Claude method. In this method, the cooling is produced by a free and sudden expansion of the compressed gas into a low pressure region through a small nozzle. Is accompanied by doing mechanical work usually by pushing back a piston. Remember that all the gases, including the hydrogen and the helium, can be liquefied by this method, because here the cooling produced is greater than that produced in the Lind's method. This process is repeated again and again, and ultimately the gas is liquefied. As you can see here in our diagram that the process is the same as in the Lind's method, but here the gases also do the mechanical work by pushing back a piston. So here the cooling is greater than that produced in the Lind's method.